Good evening once again. This is Dr. Belga Burke, faculty member at Department of CSE, AI and ML Cybersecurity, Jain deemed to be University. Welcome to another session of Industry Connect program. Our guest speaker today is Mr. Tapan Kumar Jha. He is an experienced trainer with proven expertise in computer and network security industry. He has conducted hundreds of training programs in cybersecurity, web app security, network security, and the like. And he's a freelance senior penetration tester and blue team leader for more than 15 prominent companies. Mr. Jha is the author of 4 books, namely Carrot Hack, Internet Footprints, Burp Suite Master, and Web Leaks. His 5th book, titled Do You Think You Are Safe? Ask, I understand this dash, will be published shortly. Currently, Mr. Jha is working for Oppo Mobiles, Carrefour Dubai, MR Group Dubai, and MAF Dubai. He is also the CEO of Friendsnet.in, an Indian social networking website. Today, he will be speaking on the topic Metasploit, a step towards server exploitation. Welcome, Mr. Tapan Jha. Please take over the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the nice introduction. And good evening, everyone. This is Tapan Kumar Jha. And let me share my screen first so that we can start our session. Ma'am, can you please allow me to share my screen?
Yes. Yes, sir, you can share your screen now.
Wait. Yeah, guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you so much, ma'am, and other candidates, those who you invited me for this particular session. And today I'm going to take you for the practical session of using of a Metasploit, importance of various kind of updates that is coming on our system. It may be a mobile phone, it may be a computer system, and we usually ignore all those kind of updates. And if we generally ignore these type of updates, then what attacker can do with our system. So today I will going to demonstrate these live practicals, so that you will understand about more about cybersecurity, because I have seen multiple times that when we talk about exploitation are there, but exploits are there, Linux is there, then student is not able to actually they are not able to implement this knowledge in a practical scenario, like how hacker is attacking our systems. You have seen that there are many banks and servers are got compromised. Like many of the news you have seen about, like data breaches are there, leaks are there. So how these things actually work. So today in today's 1 hour session, I'm going to tell you about each and everything, how these exploitation actually works, and how attacker find out the exploit that is available on the internet, and how they remotely exploit the vulnerability of your system and directly get into it. Thank you so much, Jain University, for inviting me for this wonderful session. And I hope that with this session, the student will gain a lot of knowledge. And if you have any doubt in between of the session, also you can ask me. Just because I do not want that the session will be a one way. Like I keep on speaking. In the end of the 1 hour, I will say thank you so much and have a nice day. I don't want the session will go in that manner. I want like if I'm presenting anything, if I'm discussing something, so I want you to participate in this discussion with me, and I want you to reply me on my questions, and definitely you can ask me your questions where like it doesn't matter like if it is related to this particular topic or not, or maybe if it is related to the cybersecurity. In the end of the work, in the end of the 1 hour session, you can also ask me that. Okay, so I hope that with this particular 1 hour session, you will be more excited how attacker exploit the remote system. Like there are many systems that are available on the internet, connected with the public IP address. So like if the attacker is able to get the live public IP address, then how he will find out, first of all, how he will find out if that particular IP address contain an open ports or not. Then after finding an open ports, let's suppose if there will be a server that contains some open ports like port number 80, port 321, or maybe some other ports are there. If it is online, and if it is containing if it allows you to scan the system remotely, then what will the next procedure? How attacker will find out that the vulnerable version is present in that server? Like it is one of the most important thing, how they will find out this particular vulnerable version. And if attacker is able to find out, let's suppose right now we are using 1.0, like 2.0, and the current version, the current stable version is 5.0. Okay, so it means we are using an older version, then definitely there will be some security related issues are there in our system. So how attacker will find out that this particular 2.0 contain which type of a exploit? So how he will find out that? Okay, then after finding that exploit, like let's suppose he found some exploit on the internet, and then how, by using a meta exploit, how he remotely exploit that vulnerability and can access our system without using any username and a password, without getting any username and a password, how he is able to exploit our system remotely without any interaction. So like this is again something different, because like I have seen in the companies, especially like when we work for the banks, especially for the I'm working for the ICICI Bank, SDFC Bank, and many other national and international banks also. So I've seen that there will be a protocol that is followed by them in order to update their system. So they need to update their system on a monthly basis, but they are not following that particular system. And recently you have seen in the Hyderabad itself, there was a huge breach happen in the bank. So I was investigating that also. Like I've also involved in a post forensic part of that particular bank fraud. So how these frauds are actually happen, and how hacker is able to access your system. If we have a good infrastructure is there, there are multiple IDS, IPS is there, good firewalls are placed, load balancers are there, many hardwares we have implemented to secure our network, but then also attacker is able to find a bug in our system. So it is very much serious. And how attacker are doing it? So it is very much important to know the entire process, starting from connecting with that IP address just by sending a ping request by using an ICMP protocol, starting from that only, like knocking that someone is there on that side or not, starting from there till the exploitation happens, like if until the end, if the attacker is able to get access to the system and can extract some information. So for that, basically I have set up one lab also. So you can also set up that lab. I will just let you know how to set up that lab. It's a small lab where you can perform the practical, because it is very much important. Because if I will let you know, like these are the exploitation, how it works, and it's more on a theoretical part. On my system, I will let you know the practical part also. But if you are not able to perform that practical on your system, then I don't think so there will be no use of attending my lecture. Just because if you are not able to perform that practical, so then you won't be able to remember this for a long time. Like for a week or 2 weeks you can remember all those processes, but after 2 weeks you won't be able to remember, just because you have not done the practical part. So it's very much important. First of all, install a lab on your system, download each and every product that I'm telling you. It's totally free of cost. You don't need to pay anything, a single rupee, to set up an entire hacking lab. Okay, then after that, perform the practical whatever I'm telling you, and please note down the step if you feel that this is an important part. So you just need to note it down. And in my slides also, I've also informed about what type of a command that I'm using, and directly practical I will let you know about what commands I'm using and why I'm using this command, from where we are getting this command, how we are implementing this attack. I will let you know the entire process. Please let me know if I'm little bit fast, just because we have a 1 hour. Okay, so if I'm a little bit fast, just tell me that, sir, can you please slow down, so that I will just I will lower down my speed, so that you will be able to understand. Like my goal with this particular 1 hour session, just to give you a brief explanation, just to give you a detailed information about exploitation of any server that any hacker is doing for any banks, for any corporate offices, like performing these practicals during data breaches, extracting information from the server, then after that, gaining access, a backdoor access of that system. That is one of the most important things. Without interacting, if I do not interact with the any one of your system, how hacker will exploit your machine? That is another important task that we will discuss it today, and we'll let you know the entire process. So first of all, let's talk about what overview. Let me. Okay. So first of all, like this is the overview. First of all, I will let you know about the methodology for server penetration testing. There are there are very less people who are working on a server penetration testing, because I have seen most of the people are working on a bug bounty, for the, for exploiting mobile apps, websites. But server is well defended by the firewalls, DMZ environment. multiple hardwares are there that prevents your servers from, to protect your servers, so that attacker cannot exploit your servers. But I will let you know the entire method. It's not a big method, it's not a complex method, but the right way, if you are performing the practical in a very right manner, if you are doing appropriate things, then you can easily get an access of any server that is connected on the internet. And I think many of the systems are connected on the internet, so there will be no there will be a possibility that systems can be hacked easily without any, without any interaction also. Then I will let you know about the overview of a practical lab that I have just now created for you especially. Okay, so that you can perform a practical in your systems also. Then we will talk about the overview and a practical of Nmap. Why we say that Nmap is a vulnerability scanner. Okay, how hackers are using Nmap for scanning of ports, and then after that, scanning ports, getting information about the banners, getting information about the version, vulnerable version. So we will talk about that also. I will also let you know about, this thing. Then we will talk about exploit-db. There is a website, exploit-db.com. Why it is getting popular between the hackers, how hackers are searching exploit, promptly on this particular website. If you want to also search for an exploit, what is the right way to find out that exploit, and how you will correlate that result with the Metasploit. So I will let you know that also. And by using a Metasploit, if you found any of the exploit that is on the live right now, and the version is also vulnerable, how to club all these information in order to exploit that system. We'll talk about that. And in the end of the session, you are able to exploit that system, and you will have an access of that system. It means we have created a backdoor into that system, and whenever we require, at what time, at whatever time, you can have an access of that system without any interruption, without any username, without any password. Okay, just need an IP address. If that IP address is there, version is vulnerable, you will have an access of that system. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about overview of a server penetration testing. So like I'm just simply following these 4 steps. A simple 4 steps can lead to a big exploitation, big data breach of any server. The first one is like on the step number 1. First of all, I will get an IP address of that system. Okay, so there are many ways for doing a footprinting to get an IP address. If you get an IP address, then what will the first one? The first one is just to run an Nmap to find out an open port, services, and version. It is very much important. First of all, getting an open port. I think that this particular IP address contain an open ports. If open ports are there, then what kind of a service that is running on it, and especially after that, if the service is running, then which version is running, that is very much important. Like you can also check your mobile phone. Like I'm having a mobile phone in my hand, so if you will check your mobile phone, then you can see there are many applications that is outdated at this particular time. So there is an update information that is coming within a mobile phone, and we keeps on ignoring these type of updates, because on a daily basis, why we should update? Because it also occupy more spaces, more storage. Okay, also like it will also consume a lot of internet, so we keeps on ignoring. Once in a month, or maybe twice in a month, or maybe when some application will not work, then only we will update our mobile phone or application. So if you are following this practice, then there is a big chances that any hacker can hack your system. Okay, so then after that, we will the step number 2. First of you will find out how to find a vulnerable version on a exploit-db. Let's suppose if we find we found any vulnerable version, then how to find that version on the exploit-db. Then we will also talk about exploit availables on that vulnerable version. Then on the 4th part, we will directly go on exploitation part, how to exploit that particular vulnerability that is present on that vulnerable version by using the exploit that we have found on the exploit-db. So this is the 4th step that I'm going to follow. It's a simple step for server penetration testing. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the practical lab that I have just now created for you to perform this practical. So I will also let you know from where you can download these type of labs, so that like after this class also, right now you can just note it down, because at the same time you cannot perform the practical with me. So what you can do, you can just note down the steps, whatever I'm telling you, and the important points that you feel that it should be there, it should be noted down. So you can do that, and I will let you know the website from where I have downloaded this particular OSs and virtual machine. So first of all, like we are going to create a practical lab in which the software that we require is a VMware virtual machine. Okay, VMware is there. Then Kali Linux is there, Parrot Security, like there's an option, either you can choose a Kali Linux or either you can use a Parrot security. It's totally depends on you. Okay, so then after that, Metasploitable 2.2 Linux. So we have to download this one. What is Metasploitable 2? Like you have heard about Parrot security or Kali Linux? I think so. How many of you have heard about Parrot security or Kali Linux? Can anyone please tell me in the chat box? Yes or no? That's it, nothing else. Perfect. I received one reply. What about others? Yes, fast. I need fast replies. Very good. Do it fast. 3 peoples. Okay. 4, 5. After that, we have around 26 participants. 27 participants is there. I received 5 reply. Yes. What about other? If you have not if you are not aware about this particular OS, type no in the chat box so that I will explain you that thing. Type no if you do not know about these OS. What is this Parrot security? What is this Kali Linux? If you do not know about it, type no in the chat box. Okay, Nitish Jain, congrats. Yes, you know about this. Okay, great. Okay, great. If you do not know about Parrot security Kali Linux, type no in the chat box so that I will explain that. Otherwise, we will directly go on this next one. Perfectly fine. Till now, I've received only yes. Great, guys. Okay, so most of you know about the Kali Linux and the Parrot security. These OS are especially built for for the stuffs like hacking and all, because there are these OS are based on a Linux, and it comes with installed various kind of security testing tools, hacking tools. So it is much easier for an hacker to perform the practical directly on a Parrot security Kali Linux instead of using any other Linux and installing the different software which is used by us. Okay, and Metasploitable 2 is a buggy operating system. Okay, it contains various inbuilt vulnerability. It also contains various servers. So when you run this servers, so to automatically open port number 80 FAP server, port number 443 HTTPS, then port number 21 FTP, and many other servers also. It will automatically start all these services, and it contains an older version of all these services, so that if you try to exploit those vulnerabilities that is present on their vulnerable version, you can do it. Okay, so like if you want to download all these things, so how you can do that, I will just let you know that there's a website. You can just note it down, the website name, hackingtool.in. I'll just paste the link of this website also in the chat box so that you can just note it down. Okay, I'm getting good questions from in the chat box also. Yes, right now I'm going to perform, like I just wanted to explain what is the process for for the exploitation part. So in this, basically, first of all, we will take a simple example of a VS FTPD because it's a small session. Okay, but I will let you know the entire process, and which will be remains same for other also, and I will also let you know the entire process how we are doing it. Yes. You can use the MSF console in the Kali Linux. Okay. No, like I do not know about the background of the students, because some of them are having the knowledge and some of them are not having the knowledge. So if you do not have a knowledge, then you can follow this step, and if you know like where it is available, you can directly follow the same step. No issues. Okay, Janam, sorry. Okay, so from here you can download this one. The hacking OS is there, so all those software you can directly download it from here. Okay, all these are the operating system that you can download it from here. Even like for doing this, we have an alternative options also. So if you know the alternative option, you can also use that. Okay, and if you do not know the alternative option, you can use this one. Got it? From this website, you can download this one. And after that, like let me open my virtual machine. Okay, this is my virtual machine. Here you can see the Kali Linux is already installed, Parrot security is already installed, Metasploitable 2 is already installed, and Red Hat is already installed, and Windows Server 2016 is already installed. So these are the operating system that is already installed. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me here, that in chat box. And if you have any suggestion, if you have any option, other options also, you can also note it down so that we can share it with each other. That is very much good. Okay, so first of all, let's turn on this machine, but exploitable 2. Okay, no issues, Jan. So I'm telling you that, like, if somebody know about the alternative steps, then you can follow that also, because you already know those steps. And if somebody do not know about this particular step, so like if you are going for a basic part, so you can follow the steps that I'm telling you. Okay, so like our motive with this session is to understand the hacker mindset, what process that he is following. Okay, and the process remains same, but the techniques little bit maybe different for each and every, like if we are right now we are going to exploit 21, so you can also exploit the port number 80, you can also exploit port number 443 in the same manner. Some options may be changed, okay, but the process will remain same, the approach will remain same, because when you go in the industry, people generally ask you that what methodology that you generally follow in performing a penetration testing. It may be a mobile app, it may be a website, it may be a server. So at that time you need to tell them that this is the methodology, this is the process that I'm following to exploit any particular server. So this remains common for each and every server. Okay, the exploit may be will be different for different vulnerability. The vulnerabilities is different from different vulnerability, but the process remains same for each and every server exploitation. Okay, what is Janam? Perfect. Okay, so like if anybody of you are using this Metasploit table for the very first time, so I will let you know MSF admin is the username, and this is the password also. Let me zoom it, magnify. Okay, so here you can see MSF admin is the username, and when you type the password, it will not display it on the screen. Okay, so when you see this $sign, it means you are already inside the this Metasploit table 2. So first of all, we need to find out the IP address of the target machine. So there are various ways through which you can find out the IP address of the target machine, in the footprinting process. So right now I'm typing ifconfig. So it is basically, this is a command used to get an IP address. So here you can see my IP address for this machine is this one. INET address, are you able to see this one? 192.168.220.132. So this is the IP address of this particular machine. 220.132. Okay, so like we need to like if you are going for exploitation part, so you need to know about the IP address of a target machine. This is my Kali Linux machine. So by default, the username and a password for this particular system is root ROOT and TOOR. Okay, so you can also check the IP address if both are in the same network. On the internet, it is not required to have in the same network, but the target machine should be connected with the public IP address so that it is easily approachable with your system. So I will just check the IP address. So my IP address is 192.168.220.129, and the IP address of this machine is 132. Okay. So you can also check the connectivity between both the system. Because sometimes maybe your system do not like the target system do not allow you to ping the target system. So at that condition, you need to change the scanning methodology. I will also let you know that ping 192.168.220.132. Okay, so like whenever you get an IP address by using a trace route, by using scanning a range of an IP address. So first of all, check how many IP address out of that, how many IP address are pingable. So you are able to ping all those machines. So like right now our target machine is 192.168.220.132. So we get an IP address, and the IP address is also pingable. If the IP address is not pingable, it will not give you any response. Then in that condition, we have to follow the another method. Okay. So we got an IP address. Then after that, now we need to go on a nmap. So like here you can see, like when we type an nmap, automatically it is there in our system. But when we are using any other operating system, so in that condition you will not able to find out nmap pre-installed in the operating system. So from the internet you have to download it into your OS. Okay, so that's why hackers are using this particular OS. So in the terminal, when you type directly nmap, so it will directly come up here. Okay, so a simple command nmap -v -a. Then you can also specify the IP address 192.168.220.132. Okay, so if you need to know about what is this -v and -a and how we can create some other commands also, or like what information that it will provide if we need to change our IP address, if we need to hide our IP address, if we need to change the MAC address, then how we can do all these type of stuffs while performing and by using a nmap. So on the top of it, when you see, so here you can see multiple options are over here. Here you can see when it start from the target specification. So if you want to include a list of an IP address, maybe you have a list of an IP address, or maybe if you have a multiple IP address, then how you can specify. So there are few commands through which you can do that. Here you can see -i, small I, capital L. Basically with this we can specify the list of the list of the file, a list of the IP address. Okay, if you want to exclude, like if you are covering a range and if you want to exclude some of the IP address, so :exclude space, then you can specify the IP address. So automatically when the nmap scan the entire network, automatically exclude those IP address. Then here you can see host discovery. So it is basically to perform a host discovery. Sometime when we are scanning any system which is might be possible, which contain a sensitive information, and you do not want to reveal your information on the very first ping. So you want to only ensure that the system is live or not. You do not want to scan the ports. You don't want your nmap to enumerate all those versions and many other information. So in that condition, you can use a host discovery. That actually means that it simply pings that system, and if it is live, then it will let you know that these systems are live. Then after that, you can go with the second techniques to get the port enumeration and all. Okay, so here you can see list scan is there, ping scan is there, treat all host as online, skip host discovery. So these all are the different commands which is basically used to enumerate to find out if the host is live or not. Then another one technique is a scanning technique. So scanning technique is another good technique that is basically used when there are different type of firewall that is coming in the market. Prevent your network from being pinged by, or maybe scanned by any of the attacker machine. So in that condition, what we can do, we can use different type of a scan. Like if simply if you are not able to connect with the target system, you can use different type of a scan, like finish scan is there, sync scan is there, ACK scan is there, to find out other type of information. Maybe a sync packet is disabled, then how you can scan that. So there are different type of a scanning method that is available. So based on your requirement, you can do that. If you want to specify the port, which port you are scanning, like when you type normal command nmap -v -a, then IP address, it automatically start scanning all those IP address. So complete IP address, it will start scanning. Basically well-known port from 1024. Okay, but if you specify the range of an port, maybe 1 to 100, if you specify, so it automatically scan the 100 ports. So these things you can easily configure in the command. And I always recommend to use a command version, because if you have a good control on a command version, you can use any Linux, or you don't need to fixed on this particular OS only. So these are all are the options. Yeah. Yes, you can hack any website. Yeah, you can hack any satellite by using a Kali index. Yes, it is possible. I think you have shared some file. I will check it, Janam. Can you please write down any questions if you have? Okay, so let me press enter. Automatically start scanning all those IP addresses. Here you can see sorry, that IP address with the how many services are running over there. So here you can see all those ports are enumerating. So the process will remain same. Right now we are doing it on test environment, but can you please turn off your mic so that it will not create any disturbance?
Jacket, please mute yourself.
Can't ping more than once.
Let me check, sir.
Okay, wait a second. Let me.
Sir, I'm going to mute everyone. You please unmute yourself after that.
Okay, so like first of all, okay, Janam is having some issue in their system, so like he's not able to ping that system. So first of all, let's check if both the systems are in the same range, because sometimes it is possible that your both the system are in the different range. So it is not possible for each one of them to ping each other. So first of all, just check the IP address of both the system and then check if both the systems are in the same network, then you are able to ping each one of them easily. Just try it once. Okay. Okay, till the time we will resume our practicals. Guys, if you have any question, you feel free to ask, no issues. So here you can see like on right now, I'm just demonstrating like do not think that this is the fixed process that we are following. I'm just trying to make you understand like what will be the approach of an hacker when he is looking into your system and if he found any vulnerable version. Okay, so the process remains same, but protocols keeps on changing, version keeps on changing. Okay, vulnerabilities keeps on changing, but the process will remain same. You need to follow this basic step, because in a server testing you can follow the same step and you can get good information. Okay, so right now I'm telling you, I'm just taking a simple example so that you this some practical to different other ports also. So here you can see on port number 21, this is the first port that is coming, and so we are taking an example of this one. Okay, so here you can see port number 21. We all know that port number 21 represents is running FTP server. It's the file transfer protocol. Okay, and the version of this particular FTP is VSFTPD 2.3.4. You can also use the same process for exploiting this SSH, Telnet, SMTP, and many other protocols. Okay, you can use the same process, whatever I'm following for this particular one. Okay, so right now we found that this particular version is running on it. Now we do not know like if this version contains some kind of a vulnerability or not. So what you need to do, you just need to copy down this information and you just need to check it in the exploit-db. It's a website. So it's about Nmap we have already covered. Now we are talking about the exploit-db. So exploit-db is a non-profit project. Okay, so basically it's a public database like exploit database where you can just find out related you can find out exploits. You can also find out some kind of Google Docs to extract information directly from the Google especially. Okay, you can also check for the public exploits that is corresponding to the vulnerable software developed by use of pen testers and vulnerability researchers. So with this you can get some good information about exploits and what the code is that is written inside that exploit. So you can also see that in the Metasploit we are able to see the list of the exploit that is available. But here you can also check the code which is like in this particular exploit what code is written. That is also very much important. So you can also check on this particular website. So here you can see, so exploit-db.com. I will just copy this particular website in the chat box. Janam, I think your issue is resolved now. Just check it once. If you are not able to resolve, then please let me know. Okay. Okay, so here you can see there are multiple options that is coming here. So first of all, we are going for exploits. So if you are looking for an exploit, then you can go with this tab. If you are going for a GSDP, that is the Google hacking database. Okay, that is another way to find out to enumerate good information from the Google. So you can go with this. So right now I'm telling you how to find out the exploit. So click on the exploits one. Then wait a second. Okay, so here you can see on the filter part, there's a multiple options are running over there. Okay, or either if you do not, if you get confused with this number of options, so what you can do, you can just type in the search VSFT PD and search for it. It takes longer time because it's a huge database. Okay, sometimes it takes longer time to just to check it. Now here you can see there are multiple exploits that is available on this particular version. So it means whatever version that is on which the server is running, it is a vulnerable version. Okay, so what's your next task? Just to check just to match the version if it is vulnerable or not. This protocol is vulnerable, we have seen it, but now we need to check if that version is vulnerable or not. So now we again need to go on a Kali Linux just to check which version is there. 2.3.4. Okay, so this version is there on that system. So here you can see, okay, so 2.3.4 means a backdoor command execution. So it means attacker can have an access of that target machine without interaction. Okay, just by allowing the system to access that system. Okay, and after that you can also run your command. So it means terminal access can be taken by using this exploit. So just click on it just to check what all information that include inside into this particular exploit. So you need to follow the same procedure for different type of protocol. Whenever you are finding any services or version, just click on it, just type that particular services name in the search bar. If you find something, scroll it, just check. Now here you can see I can also download that exploit. Okay, so sometime if you want to if some exploits are written is available on the internet, and if it is not available in the Metasploit, so you can use that also. So there is a way to download this particular exploit. If you want to see the code, so you can also do that, because sometimes you have to understand like if this exploit is there, but what is inside this particular exploit, what commands are written over there, what is the code that is written inside of this exploit. So you can also check this. So here you can see this vulnerability is line on a CVE 2011-2523. So CVE basically provide a common vulnerability exposure. It's a number that represents a specific vulnerability. When you search for this particular CVE number, automatically you get the detailed information about this vulnerability. So the vulnerability basically like the vulnerability that we generally find on the website or on the servers. So that must contain a CVE number, so that developer or the person who is going to patch that vulnerability can check if this CVE check the information related to that CVE. Okay. Okay, 1.113. It's supposed to work because both are in the same network. Try to log out the machine, like try to shut down the machine and then try to restart it and then try to ping it. Yeah, I understand that both are in the bridge mode, that's why they are having the same IP address. For that I need to take an access of the system, then only I can let you know that what is the issue. Like right now I'm also using the same machine, having the same IP address on both the machines, and both are easily pingable. Okay, so so we have checked this information. So this is a row code into it. So what we need to do now, we need to go on your machine and you need to search for this particular Metasploit. When you type MSF console, through this command also you can get into the Metasploit table too. Okay, and MSF console. So MSF console, when you type MSF console in the command line in the terminal, so So automatically open a Metasploit. It's a GUI, it's a Linux mode of a command mode of a Linux of the Metasploit. The Metasploit comes in the GUI mode also, GUI mode also in the Windows version. So you can also use that if you are not familiar with the commands. Okay. Now your first requirement to search for that particular specific version. Okay. So what we can do? We minimize all these info. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now first of all, search for the search VSFTPD 2.3.4. Okay, search for this. Like just type search, then a space, whatever your query is. If you want to search for a BMW car, you can do that. It is there. Okay, so here you can see exploit is there. Okay, and it's a backdoor. Okay, backdoor command execution. So it means the exploit is already present in the Metasploit and it is having a rank, excellent rank. So it means the chances of using implementing this particular exploit is more than the other one. Okay, so check facility is not there. Check facility basically allow you to check if that platform support this exploit or not. So before running any exploit, you can use a check command. With the help of that, you can previously it will before running it will verify that this exploit will be able to exploit that version or not. Okay, and some description is written over there. Disclosure date is 2011. It means in 2011 it got published on the internet. Okay, then after that, sorry, now we need to use this one. Okay, so just copy this exploit name till here. Okay, copy this one, sorry. Okay, now use. Now we need to use this exploit. Okay, so if you want to use any of the exploit, any of the auxiliary mode, if you want to use any of the encoder, just type use. Okay, then type the exploit name. Simple one. Like few things that you need to remember when you are running the Metasploit. Like I have seen many students finding challenges while running the Metasploit, but it's not that much complex. The people, those who are using it, they find it much easier. If you are trying to learn it without any guidance, then definitely you will find it a little bit tricky. Okay, so like whenever you want to use any of the modules, just type use space the module name. That's it, nothing else. Just type it. So here you can see right now I'm using this particular exploit. No payload configured. So right now it do not configure any we have not configured any payload. Okay, defaulting to the command Unix interact. So it will using this payload default. Okay, now after using this payload, we need to check what options we need to set in this exploit, so that we can explore we can take a use of that particular bug that is currently present in the target machine. So first of all, you need to type show options. Okay, when you type show options, so I'm just telling you how to use this Metasploit. If you are able to understand how to use it, then you can use it for any exploit. You can use it for any of the payload. Okay, so this is the same process that you need to follow for each and every one. But sometimes the inside commands, the options might be different, but the process remains same. Okay, so here when we type show options, so here you can see module options. So what module options we have for this particular exploit? First of all, we need to set an R host. R host stands for the remote host. So the target IP address must be there in the current setting. So here you can see current setting is blank. It means there's like no one have configured nothing into this exploit right now. So we need to set this one. And here you can see required. So right now we are using it for the sample one. But when you are running any other exploit that contains a huge number of options, so you just need to check which information is required. If something is required as a yes, so you have to fill that. Otherwise, that exploit won't work. That payload won't work. If some options, like in some of the options, you can see that the required is no. So you can leave that option. You can skip that option. Got it? Any confusion? Okay, then Here you can see the another option is a R port, that is a remote port. So it's 21. So we know that VSFTPD working on a 21 port number, and it is required, and it is by default, it is configured because this exploit works on a port 121. Okay, now other information is not there. Sometimes when you are using other exploits, so you will not find these two options. You have had multiple other options. So just check required, yes. So if it is there, then type enter those information. Now, how to enter these information into this particular exploit? So we have a command set. Now we are going to set the values into this particular parameter. So set, for which parameter you need to set? R host. Okay, simple. It's a simple process. Set wanted to, for what you need to set. So for our host parameter, we need to set what is the IP address of the target machine, 192.168.220.132. Got it? You just need to specify the target target machine IP address. Press enter. Okay, now we need to check if it is configured or not. So we need to use the same command, show options. Show options. I think it is pretty much clear. Like set, then space, then parameter. Now parameter can be anything. Right now we have taken a R host. Might be possible when you are using different exploits, the parameter might be different. Then parameter, then space, then put a value into it. Okay, so right now it is asking for the R host, so I will just put a remote host IP address. Okay, so this one is there. Now if you want to verify if whatever we have set, it is set into the exploit or not, just press show option. So here you can see our host parameter is there. Previously nothing was set, but now you can see target machine IP address is set now. Got it? So this is a way through which you can, enter the information what is required to exploit that system. Okay, and just to verify, show options, show options, show options. That's it. Okay, and if you want to set any information, set space parameter space value. That's it. If you want to use any of the payload, any of the exploit, any of the auxiliary module, type use space module name. That's it. It's so much simple. Okay, now after that, we have, first of all, we have selected the exploit, we have searched for it, we have used the exploit, we have set the parameter. Now what will be the next? The last one is to exploit this one. Now we need to check if this exploits run against that machine or not. It is very much important to identify that it is able to exploit that remote machine or not. We have a checked option, but right now it is not supported into this exploit because on the before we have checked it. Here you can see when we search for this particular exploit, search space VSFTPD 2.3.4. So in the description itself, it let you know that it do not support a check options. Okay, so we cannot type a check and just to check if this particular exploit run against this OS or not. So skip this one. Okay, so in some of the option, if it is written over there that supports check option, use it like before running the exploit, run check. Now in the end, you just need to type exploit. Let's check if we type an exploit option, then are we able to run this exploit on the target machine or not? So can we do that? Yes or no? Type in the chat box fast. Yes or no? Janam, thanks. What about other? Yes or no? Very good. Narasim, very good. Yes, Asim, very good, very good. We have other command also. Run, you can also use a run command to use this one. Or either you can use the exploit. Totally depends on you in which in whatever you are comfortable. Got it? Perfectly. So now we need to write exploit and press enter. So here you can see. So it shows that shell found UID root grid GID root. So command shell session 1 open. So it means now your system, my system, okay, my system is 192.168.220.129. When my system, my port number is 33361 is right now connected with 192.168.220.132 by on port number 6200 by exploiting this particular vulnerability. So after that, like now you got the terminal access. Now you understand, like if you got the terminal access, what you can do, you can run the commands, you can get the information, and you can do whatever you want by running the command. So let's start with like typing ls. So here you can see ls as the command. So list directory. So here you can see all those directory that is listed inside this particular server. So what you can do, I'm just checking it inside of it. So like all these are the directory inside of it. So if you will go inside of it, automatically you get to know that you are into the system. Okay. So if you the first thing that you need to check, like if you are into the system or not, just like if config, just to check if your terminal contain an IP address of the target machine. So it means you are into the system. So here you can see 192.168.220.132. So when you go and type here if config 192.168.220.132, the same IP address that is coming here. Okay. Now you got the terminal access. Now you can do whatever you want. Okay. Totally depends on your knowledge and how much you are familiar with the terminal. So totally depend on that. What information you get. You can also create the directories. You can also delete the directories. You can also read the information that is inside of the directory. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Let's see. Now you got the terminal access. So this is how the basic process that the exploitation how actually works. Like how hackers find out these type of exploitation on the internet, exploits on the internet, and try to exploit the target machine. The concept remains same, but vulnerabilities got changed. The terminal will the exploits will get changed, but this is the process that remains same. The another way of using this one, you can also use a Nessus. I think many of you know about Nessus. How many of you know about Nessus? Please type yes or no in the chat box. Okay. Please type yes or no in the chat box. Do it fast a little bit because we have less time. Nessus is a professional tool that we are using in the industry. So you should know about this tool. It's a professional tool. Okay, so it's a professional tool. We are using it in the multinational companies. Right now, I'm working for the Emirates Airlines. Okay, so we are using it there also. I'm working for the Himalaya Creams. We are running this tool for in that companies also. I'm working for the Biba tool. So we are running this also. It's a licensed tool. So like now your first question, sir, I am a student. How would I access to this particular license tool? So my friend, I will let you know that this is a license tool, but you can have a essential version also. So what do you need to do? Just download NESS. Okay. So what you can do, directly go on the Tenable Nessus. Okay. Download a free version of it. Okay. The trial version, you will have a 16 IP address to scan. So enjoy with the 16 IP address. And if you like, once the 16 IP address will get finished, so what do you need to do? Just install it, reinstall it again, get the new license on new email ID, you get the another 16 IP address. So in this way, you can use it. Okay. I do not want you to purchase this software because when we are working in the company, so company need to pay for it, and it costs a lot. It's not thousands, but in the lakhs. Okay. So I do not recommend you to purchase the license just to check it, just to use this tool. But if you use this tool, you can put this tool in your resume also, that I have worked on a Nessus. So it's a good one. So here you can see it's a PT report. So here you can see the IP addresses and detail of that information. So it provides you a complete information about that. So here you can see a mixed information, a medium, a SSL related vulnerability. So when you click on it, it also give you the description about that vulnerability. Okay. It also let you know about the ID. Okay. Severity, it's a medium one. Okay. Then also it will also let you know the solution that we need to purchase or generate a proper SSL certificate, because we are not using a proper SSL certificate. The output that is given by it and on which port number we are using. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so it's a good tool and I recommend you to use it. Okay, so it's a very simple process. Like after like here you can see for Windows, if you're using a 32-bit, so it's a 64-bit, then sorry, 64, yeah, second one. So you can download this one. Okay, second one. Then here there's an option get activation code. So here you can see two options are there. Nessus Professional is there. Do not go for it because it's for the professional. Like in the companies we are using it because it is given by the company itself. Okay. Now you are a student, so go for the register now button. Okay. So here you can see name, first name, and email ID. So by taking there are many other websites for the temporary that provides a temporary email ID. So use that email ID. Okay, put it here. Click on a get started. It will send a activation code over there, and with that activation code, you can directly install this software. Okay. So I think this will be a pretty much clear to you. Okay, and this is the part the when you scan this particular vulnerability. So it comes under the vulnerability assessment. Okay, just because in this you just need to put an IP address, it automatically scan the vulnerability, it automatically identify. It will let you know the report that this IP contains this much vulnerability. So you don't need to do any manual work into it. So that comes under vulnerability assessment. So, but when you follow this process, that generally right now that I have followed, Nmap, then finding an exploits, running an exploits, getting access of the system, that comes under penetration testing, and it is one of the best in like it is trending in the industry. Like when you go for a red teaming, especially this manual testing actually works. Running an automated software, it's not a big deal for anyone. Any student can run the software. If I will let you know, like we will have a one-day training on the Nessus. But for penetration testing, you need a practice. You need to work on it. You need to do a lot of practice into it. So this is my suggestion. If you are like if you are going for the cybersecurity field, if you want to go into it, then you should learn about Nessus, and you should also equally learn about the manual exploitation that I've taught you in the 1 hour session. And I hope that this will be pretty much clear because it's a 4 simple step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple one. Nothing complex. No more confusion into in it. A simple process, and if it is exploitable, it will get exploited. If it is not exploitable, it will let you know that it is the target is not exploitable. So it means that exploit is not working. So when you are running that Nessus, it will let you know about 10 exploits that is available. But when you do the manual testing, you will get to know that out of 10, how many of them are actually working. So out of 10, around 2 or 3 exploits are working. 7 is false positive. That's why companies always need a person who need to know about manual penetration testing. Any questions you can ask? I think this much. I have this much only for today. Just one command. So can you please share how did you find the machine? How did you find the machine? Yes. Okay, by using nmap command, brother. So sorry, by using nmap command, like I will just let you know about the command. Okay, if you have any question, please feel free to put it in the chat box so that I will just resolve all your issue and then we will end the session. Please do not go blank from this session. Okay. We have typed this command nmap-v-a. I'll just type in the chat box also. Okay. Okay. Sir, can we get TTL shell here without Python? Can we get like on this on the Metasploit table 2? You just need to check it because like yes. You just need to check it once if it is compatible or not. Okay. On post exploitation, you can just check on for post exploitation what options are there. Okay. So like in the companies, we do not need to work on till what extent we can exploit it, but in companies we need to check if this tag is exploitable or not. We do not need to make big exploitation, because this may impact their running servers also, because the server that we are scanning for the companies, it's a live server, so we cannot do much experiment with that server. Okay, but if possible, if we run any exploits, or maybe especially those exploits that comes with those DDoS or DOS, we cannot run those exploitation on the live system, because that may impact their server. Okay, great. Any other question, guys? I think ma'am have shared some feedback form. Sorry.
So if we don't have more questions, shall we wind up, sir?
Yes. I don't think so that there is a much question.
Okay.
It's a small V. It's not capital V. It's a small V. Then time. In the command especially, you can check a small V is there. It's not capital V. Here you can see. Thank you. Yeah, ma'am. I don't think so that now we do not have any questions.
Okay. Thank you for the brilliant session, Mr. Jha. Audience, I remind you to fill out the feedback form before you leave. The link is in the chat box. So let's wind up the session. I thank Department of Computer Science Engineering, AI/ML and Cybersecurity, and Futurance Technologies for conducting these Industry Connect sessions. We are grateful to our resource person, Mr. Tapan Kumar Jha, for accepting our invitation to conduct this session for our students. Thanks are due to Dr. V. Vivek, the head of the Department of Computer Science Engineering in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning and Cybersecurity, and the team of our faculty members for the support they offer to provide the best to our students. Thank you, students, for participating in the session. See you all next week. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.